Welcome to the Atomic Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Osborn, and on this podcast, we interview successful business owners for them to share atomic, impactful lessons that they've learned throughout the course of their business and share them with us so that we can learn as well. As always, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition channel of conversations with their ideal prospects. We use this method to book 26 qualified leads and sales calls in 10 days without any ad spend, outreach, endless social media posting, or any of the old, ineffective traditional marketing methods that everybody hates. To find out more, direct message me on LinkedIn. That's Jason A. Osborn. The link to that will be in the show notes below. But on today's show, our special guest is Diane Reiner. She is the owner of Main Street Thrive, where she provides small business consulting. So, Diane, it's great to have you on the show today. Looking forward to it. And I want to start off by asking you a question that I always love to start off with, which is this. If you were able to go back and start your business over again, but knowing what you know now, what would you do differently in the first 12 months?
I think I would be more prepared. Um, Everybody always thinks that, oh, I'll start a business. I have I have my phone number, I have my email address. Business is going to come to me. And
Mhm.
and I think people forget that they have to be prepared. They have to figure out who their target market is. And really, how do you find that target market?
Yeah, yeah. With that being said, I know you mentioned a couple things. What would you have done differently to be more prepared?
I think marketing wise is really where a lot of people fall down, and I did a lot, but I think I could have been more prepared as far as you a lot of times we as business owners figure we can do things ourselves, and we waste so much time in doing things that we might not have the expertise in, or we may be spending a lot of time not targeting our market that we need to be targeting. Um, and so that I think I would be better prepared in really pinpointing and this is key too, which social media platform do you use to target the market that you're targeting?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So talking about marketing and everything around that topic, what are some things that you did to stay away from being spammy in the way that you reached out to your target market as you've grown the business?
I always try to look to see what I can do for somebody first before I ask them to for their business. So
Hmm.
how can I connect them with somebody? Who is somebody, that you want to meet that I might know? Also, if I'm answering something on social media, I try to give them some information, some educational information that isn't salesy, but just regular basic information that's something they may not have thought about or didn't know the answer to. So I always try to give value first
Yeah.
before I even try to make that connection.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's very, very important for sure. When you talk about the adding value side of it, I know for myself, and I can preach this all the time, is the relationships is so important. So, what's one of the things that you've done to add value and build relationships that has helped to grow your business and maybe generate more referrals or just the relationship side of working with your clients?
Well, I try to make a lot of connections. Um, and I look at it as if it may be a business that I personally won't use, but I'll always take that information because I always try to be known as the connector. Who can I connect
Mhm.
you with? Um, and that seems to be, and the joke is Diane knows everybody because I'll go with some of my collaboration people and we'll go someplace and I'll know so and so. And they're like, how do you know these people? And it's like, it's just because we built, it may be just a simple relationship or a basic relationship, but I'm there to answer and help them any way I can. And I always put that out as my main theme is helping people.
Yeah, I think that's really important. As one of the questions I always like to ask as well, Diane, as we grow our business and um, being entrepreneurs and business owners, there's always challenges, there's always struggles, and oftentimes we can very much feel alone in what we're doing, or maybe like, gosh, I'm the only person that's ever gone through this sort of stuff before. So with that being said, what's been the biggest challenge that you've had in your business to date so far, and what's been the lesson that you've learned from that?
Out there. And how do I do that to touch and people and get them to act or react to the message that I have out there? Um, social, just a simple social media posting doesn't do it, because I mean, there's how many millions of business postings out there every day. So it's how do you get that message to the end person is is really, I think, the biggest challenge I have and a lot of people have, is how do you get them to stop scrolling long enough to read your message or answer your email or your message on like LinkedIn.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you're doing to help that, or is that still like a challenge you're having? It's because I know a lot of people, it is a challenge. So just curious if you've got anything that you're working on along those lines.
Well, I had chosen Instagram to grow my audience. I haven't utilized it yet. I haven't done my message to that group, but I learned from somebody a couple of years ago. If you want to grow your target market, you have to connect with them first. So I connected with a lot of businesses that I wanted to connect with, and then a lot of them followed me back. Or I pinpointed my target group, which is like chambers and business development agencies and things like that, so that I can see what they're doing as well, and how
Mm,
somebody may mention something that they're struggling, or they're looking for some programming or something like that. So I took that one area of Instagram and kind of grew that. Now I have to do that with Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm pretty happy with the connections that I have there.
mm,
Now it's just I'm in the process of the next couple weeks of building my message, and then I'm like relaunching everything first week in May for Small Business Week.
nice, nice. That's very cool. Yeah. I'm gonna ask a question that's somewhat similar, but I'm curious about what your answer might be in it, because as we're growing businesses, there's always constraints in the business. And I'm just curious, like what's your biggest constraint you're having in the business for the growth that you're wanting to achieve?
Time, finding time to wear all the hats that
Hmm.
small business owners wear.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you're doing to mitigate that constraint? Because I know that is an issue for a lot of small business owners out there, and I'm sure if the more people give suggestions and ideas, it might just spark one idea in someone that might be able to help them out with that.
So I am using some forms of AI.
Hmm.
I feel it's helped me a lot in the marketing piece, and that's what I've mainly used it for, is a lot of the marketing piece. But I know also AI can help with a lot of different platforms as far as backroom um, processes and things like that. So
Hmm.
I still have to educate myself on that, or find somebody that will do that for me, as far as experts out there. And I've heard some people that have really come up with some creative prompts in their AI to really take some time manage or to increase their time management. So I guess the one tip that I would give is If you want to use AI, make sure you got great prompts to get exactly what you're looking for it to produce.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That is the key thing for sure. Yeah, if you don't give it the right prompts, it'll give you bad outputs for sure. So yeah, amazing. Well, as you're growing your business and you're looking over the next, let's say, 2 to 3 years of where you're looking to go, what are your goals? What would you like to achieve?
I'm looking to start a chamber program. I want to, we do a lot of webinars right now. Um, and I'd like to present them to the chambers so that they can utilize that because a lot of times they're smaller or they may not have the programming themselves. So I'm looking to work with a lot of chambers just to kind of build that small business community because otherwise, there are certain stores that are in most communities, um, and and a lot of times that'll take the business away from established businesses that are there.
Mm, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. What do you feel that would help with running those webinars? What's the main outreach or the outcome rather that you're looking to achieve with that?
It's all about making small business stronger and building a community where people can share ideas and then also resources. What resources might be out there for certain small businesses to utilize. A lot of times you'll see almost like sorry, almost like a ghost town sometimes in these smaller communities because everything's being built on the outskirts of the town, or the community has turned into like a bedroom community where the people are employed in another, maybe larger community. So it's how do you keep that small business strong in that area?
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. I think that's really helpful for a lot of businesses that are struggling, and because I know a lot of business owners go into business, but they don't really know what to do. They might have provide a great service or a great product, but they just don't really know what to do and have that mindset. I think we all just need that support and help along the way as we're growing businesses, which is amazing. So, well, for people that are wanting to learn a little bit more about what you do, Diane, and get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can email me at Diane at mainstreetthrive.com. I have a web page and we're redoing the web page, so it might be down, but it'll be definitely up around the 1st of May. Mainstreetthrive.com, or they can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I definitely recommend everyone please do check out Diane, and particularly if anything that she has said resonates with you, you think, you know what, I can really help with that sort of expertise and experience in my business. Please do reach out to her. So, Diane, thank you so much for being on the show and just sharing your wisdom and experience over the years of you running your own business. I really, really appreciate you taking out the time today. And as a reminder for everyone listening, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition channel of conversations with their ideal prospects that don't rely on any of the old traditional methods that everybody hates. To find out more, direct message me on LinkedIn to have a chat. That's Jason A. Osborn. The link to that will be in the show notes below. And until next episode, stay inspired.